Hi everyone and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. My name is Thea and in this video I will be setting up my bullet journal for the month of September. But first, let's quickly flip through my August setup. I really loved my August theme and I'm a little sad to let it go, but on the other hand it's exciting to be moving on to a next theme and a new month. My September theme is mushrooms and lingonberries. I got the inspiration for this theme when I was at summer cottage and I went mushroom picking for the first time. It was really fun and also very quick compared to berry picking, which I've done before. We were on the woods about an hour and got almost 2 kilos of mushrooms. I put a picture of the forest here. I added these little faces to the mushrooms because I've seen a lot of mushroom themes lately and I wanted to make mine a little bit different. I think these mushroom guys turn out really cute and I will be adding few other different decorations to them as well. Now I'm coloring in the mushroom guys and I'm using these little circular motions so that the Crayola super tip doesn't leave as many streaks and marks on the paper. I also added a little bit of shadow to the some parts of the mushrooms to give them a little bit of depth. When I was still figuring out what my theme is going to be, I almost drew the leaves in autumn colors. But then I decided to draw lingonberries instead because apparently the forests are full of them here in Finland. These aren't very realistic looking, but I personally prefer the simple and cartoon-like look. The mushrooms were looking a little bit dull, so I added these leaves to the hats of the mushrooms with my white gel pen. The gel pen I'm using is Jelly Roll 10 and it's the best white gel pen that I found so far. And you will be seeing me covering up some mistakes with it later in this video. Because you can never have too many details, I'm adding more to the leaves with the same gel pen. And of course I had to add some golden sparkles because these look really nice when you are flipping through the pages. I felt like these mushroom guys were missing something, so I made them wear these little scarves. For the header I went for a monoline cursive font just for change as I usually do brush lettering. Then I added details to the scarves to finish off everything. And here's how the final cover page turned out. For my monthly calendar, I decided to go for a one-page layout because I don't really need a lot of space for events, for example. I think the best part of bullet journaling is that you can customize and change things up whenever you need. When I was still studying, I used a 2-page layout and it was really helpful. I actually never used a planner before I started bullet journaling, and I really don't know how I was able to organize everything and keep up with assignments and deadlines. By the way, if you would like to see spread ideas for students or some of my old spreads that I found helpful when I was still studying, please let me know. And if you have any other suggestions for future videos, I would love to hear them. When I was making this spread, I almost went for green dots on the calendar, but I decided to use this neutral color instead. After my calendar spread was done, I started making my one line a day spread. In this spread, I write about my day or something that I'm grateful for. Keeping a daily diary would be really cool, but to be honest, I'm just too lazy to write that much. So this one line a day spread is perfect for me, and it's also a nice way to write down some memories. Next, I'm setting up my habit tracker, and I'm actually tracking quite a lot of habits. Habit tracker is a spread that I find very exciting to fill in every day, and I've been making it ever since I started bullet journaling 4 years ago. The layout and different habits have changed a little bit over time, but some of them have also remained the same. Okay, so here is the mistake I was talking about earlier. I messed up the numbers as usual, so now I'm fixing them with my white gel pen. This is a mistake that happens almost every time I set up a new month, and I also feel like it's a mistake that we all have done at some point. On the top part of the list of habits, I have things that I try to do every day, and on the bottom I have cleaning related habits that I like to keep track of. And last but not least, I'm tracking my steps and sleep on the bottom of this tracker. I have numbers from 0 to 11, and when I'm marking down my steps, I think these numbers as thousands, if that makes sense. So if I take 8,000 steps in a day, I will add a colored line that is 8 dots tall. The right part of the spread looked a little bit empty, so I added this quote to remind myself of being more patient with myself and my goals. At the end of the day, the little things and routines are the most important factors of reaching your goals. Even though in this modern world it's hard to see that, as we only hear about the outcome but not about the years of work. And we are used to seeing quick results. I feel like that's easy to forget also when you are looking at someone's arts, for example. Like, overall, I feel like comparing ourselves and thinking that people are just naturally talented is quite harmful. Because when it comes to making art or other things, it takes a lot of work and patience to become good or talented. After the habit tracker was done, it was time to make my plant tracker spread. As someone who has a lot of plants, I found this tracker very useful because otherwise I would forget to water some of my plants. I started using this tracker last year but stopped during winter, and thanks to that some of my plants died. So now I'm convinced that it was because I wasn't using this tracker, and ever since I started making it again, my plants have been doing a lot better. I don't have a clear watering schedule for my plants, like watering them once a week, because some of them need more water than others. So this tracker is basically just a place where I can see if it's been a really long time since I watered my plants. And it's also easier to see if the yellowing of the leaves is caused by overwatering, for example. I fill in this tracker by drawing a circle when I give water to my plants, and if I fertilize the plant as well, I will add a dot inside of the circle. On the bottom of this page, I'm adding a little content planner for my social media accounts. I've been using this for 2 months now, and it's been pretty helpful so far. For the decorations of this page, I decided to draw just the lingonberry doodle to keep things nice and simple. I think this spread took about 20 minutes to make, so it was pretty quick to make compared to the other ones. Now I'm setting up my monthly reflection spread with a section for my weekly thoughts that will help me to fill in the monthly review page on the right side. As I said earlier, keeping a daily diary would be really cool, but I find that very time consuming, so this is a little bit more simple way to write down your memories and reflect with everything that has happened each week and in the whole month. This spread can be a very helpful way to notice how you are spending your time and how you are feeling overall. For the monthly review page, I like to add boxes for my successes and challenges of the month, and besides that I also add sections for my favorites of the month and list of things that could be improved. To improve section is basically just a problem solving for the challenges that I faced during the month, so that those wouldn't hopefully happen again next month. To finish off this spread, I drew a little mushroom guy, and this is probably my favorite of all of them. He just looks like he's very chill and fun to be around with. As I like to freehand my lines sometimes, I'm turning the notebook around so I can track the pen towards my body. And then I fixed a little mistake that I made. And now it's finally time to draw the last spread of this video. This is my first weekly spread for September, and I really like how it turned out. When I was still deciding my theme, I really wanted to draw hedgehogs because I think they are adorable. For some reason, hedgehog is a bit hard to draw in a way that the spikes won't look messy, and that's why I ended up with drawing mushrooms instead, but to be honest, I got a little fed up with drawing the stem. So I drew a hedgehog to this page, and I think it turned out a lot better this time, as I only drew the spikes to the outline of the hedgehog's body. To draw the boxes, I'm using a Tombow Dual Brush pen in the shade 992, and I went for this layout that has a lot of writing space for to-dos and notes and smaller boxes for the days of the week. This was my first time filming a video that is longer than 60 seconds, and it was a big learning process for me. I really hope you have been enjoying it so far, and if you have any questions about the spreads, feel free to ask. I will add a list of all the supplies I'm using in this video to the description box down below, so make sure to check that out. And now it's time for the final flip through of my September setup. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if you would like to see more videos like these. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see in my next video. Bye bye!